Good morning everybody, welcome once again down the Avon. As you can see behind me, this is a private stretch I have access to. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning, a bit of a strange time to catch me fishing, I'm aware of that, but today no work and I'm on the school run. So I've got from now till about 2 to do a little bit of fishing. So hence reason to come in close to home. As you can probably hear as well, it's really windy. Really windy day today. Bright sunshine, and we almost had a frost last night. I should say it's Friday the 25th of September today, so we're getting towards the end of September, and there's certainly a bit of autumn in the air this morning. Say it's went down proper cold last night. Nevertheless, as I say, I've got a few hours, so I've come out to do a bit of fishing. Now with this wind in mind, I fancied doing some float fishing, some Waggler fishing. However, I was aware that perhaps maybe a bit tricky in this wind, so I've also bought a ledger rod with me as well. I'll go through the gear as we go along, but I think I'm going to do what I've done a few times recently here, just get on the Waggler, try and get on the Waggler in this wind. It's coming off my back actually, or sort of behind my right shoulder, so it's not too bad, but it is making seeing the Waggler very difficult with this sun up there as well. But we'll have a go anyway, and if we can't do it, it's really blowing. If we can't do it, we'll get on the feeder. But it'd be nice to get on the float. So baits I've got with me: maggots, worms, and bread. And I'm going to try and catch whatever's up for a feed in sunny weather. We had some rain yesterday, which may have helped conditions, although we had hail as well, and I'm sure that's going to knock and the cold night is going to knock the water temperatures on the head a bit. So we'll have to see how we get on. I'm not confident, but we'll have a go. So what I've done, I've thrown 2 or 3 balls of groundbait out. The Angling Bait Company groundbait. Thrown out a bit of, it's a mix of their Pro Irish and their Pro Roach. Just with a little bit of crumb in there as well. Got a Waggler on here. What I've done is I've dispensed with the, I was using a loaded Waggler last time, but because of the wind and because of the bleak, I've decided to go with a non-loaded Waggler. Quite a big one as well in this wind, give me a bit of anchorage out there. Well, I am going to run it through, I mean, to sink the line against. It's a Drake bodied Waggler there. I can read this in the sunshine. It's a 10-inch, 7.5 AAA, so it's a decent float. And I've got all the shot strung out just above the hook link as a sort of strung out bulk. I'm going to fish, as in the last video, I'm fishing about 10 foot deep, 9 or 10 foot. Bit of water on as well. River's come up certainly a few inches certainly since last time I was here. I'm going to run this through. Got my Rovex John Wilson Avon quiver set at 13 foot here with my Gacia 704 close face reel, and this awkward cast here with this tree above me. So I'm going to be casting backhand again, but we'll run this float through, see how we get on with it. As I say, we can always go on the feeder if we're struggling, but let's have a go. I'm not going to fish as far as I was either this time, maybe a third of the way across. It's a very wide section of the Avon here. I'm going to fish just about a third of the way across, probably about 15 metres maybe, something like that. Oh, we've had a bite straight away. Well, blimey. Perhaps we are going to have a good session. What is it? Oh my goodness me. What kind of a fish is that as a first fish in the bright sunshine? That's about that. Wow. Fantastic. Well, that makes me a bit more confident. And he certainly wanted that as well. If a roach are feeding, that's good. It may be that the cold weather has perhaps put the smaller fish off a bit. The other species, the bleak, etc. Maybe. Here's hoping. If we catch a few nice roach like that, I'd be very happy. Just done double red maggot. I need to sort myself out a little bit here. Right. It's quite a gusty day today. It's sort of a bit of wind, then no wind, then a bit of wind, then no wind. And then it's absolutely banging through. So 1 minute it's lovely, and the next minute it's terrible. It's better. Right. Just the float, just running through nicely. Just a very, very slow walking pace on the water. And it has coloured up just a little bit. Just with this rain we had yesterday. One of those strange days, a real bite to the wind. But the sun is quite warm. So my ears are cold and my face is warm. There we go. Well, this is pulling back a bit. Oh, blimey. Glad I came. Fantastic. Again, no keep net today. Just putting the fish straight back. No need for a keep net. Nice for that trophy shot at the end, but there's no need. And fish welfare and all that is a priority. I'm not going to keep them in a keep net. Right, how long may this continue? Well, certainly till 2 o'clock anyway. I've got to go and get the Litland from school. Tricky to see this float with there's so many different shadows on the other side on the water. Very tricky. It's going from light to shade with a ripple on as well. It's tricky. Oh, well, 3 roach, 3 casts, 3 roach. Fantastic. I've actually brought some hemp with me today as well, just in case we were getting really bleaked out like the last couple of times. Float fish here, it's been a bit bleaked out. Blimey. So if you can hear that, that's the trees behind me. It's a little bit worrying because there's a branch come down in the night there. I had a walk down here yesterday, had a look, and that branch wasn't down. A bit worrying. Oh well, guys, that's how windy it is. The camera's just blown over. It's proper blowing. Oh, wonderful stuff. Roach so far. Congratulations off the boaters. It's going crazy here today. Look at that. Fairly difficult filming here as well, guys. I'm afraid I'll do what I can with the footage, but with the sun right in front of me here, it's very, very tricky fishing, tricky filming. Quite nice here. It's very wide, the stretch of the river. So it does mean the boats can sort of stay out your way, really. So the natural boating line is on the other side. So difficult to see that float when it gets into sort of the shadows between or should I say the shadows of the trees. It's okay. When it goes between the trees, the bright spots, it's really difficult to see. So guys, down at the business end, I've got a red and red maggot hook link on size 80 to £3 line at the moment. £4 main line, Maxima chameleon main line. There we go. Proper pulling back as well. No pike trouble yet. Hopefully, we don't have any all day. It's right the other day. Bites at the moment in a very awkward spot to see the float, so I think what I'm going to do is start feeding a little bit further upstream in the hope that I can get bites in an easier place. Lovely. There we go. Beautiful. What a glorious stamp of roach. Absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. A bit of water going in certainly seems to have kick-started things. It's so difficult casting this wind. chucking the float all over the place. Oh, having to do this backhand cast as well, it's really tricky. Never mind. Not moaning, certainly not for catching roach of this stamp. And it is bite a chuck as well at the moment. It's a proper fish as well. This is definitely a landing net job. It's crazy. Come on. It's just unbelievable in these conditions. Another nice handful. Beautiful. It's all been roach this morning as well, noticeably, aside from that one perch. He's in a pod. What an unexpected treat this is on a sunny day. That's certainly the biggest one of the day so far. Wow. Wow. Blimey. Ah, come on. That's something much better then. That's a shame. Probably a decent bream. Oh, well, we've just something down there. Just put a bigger float on. Bigger as in bigger sort of bristle size, if you like. Float terms, just so I can see it a bit easier. So it's obviously going to be a lot less sensitive, but to make it easier to see. These fish don't seem to be too worried about sensitivity today. Float's banging under. Yeah, they're proper having it today. Blimey. To this tree crashing down around me. It's just a bit worrying. fish. Much better fish. Feels a bit breamy. Lamb. Oh, big old stripey. Big old stripey. That was a bream then. Well, it's about that for a perch on the old Waggler. Great stuff. What a fish. Yeah. Water has coloured up a little bit, but still didn't expect the sport to be anything like this. This is wonderful. Really did think that was a bream. Where it's sort of thumping away, thump. I was bringing it in. I did think it was a bream. Another better fish, not fighting at all. It's got a bit of weight. Well, now let's pull it. I'm trying to get into those lilies. Come on. Now let's just pull it. Another perch fish. What morning? Well, there's about 2 of them in 2 casts. I guess they've come in after the roach. Just wonder, it had gone very quiet. I'd had a few runs through. I thought, I'm not getting any bites. This is strange. That kind of explains it, doesn't it? I did bump one of those, or I think probably one of those off earlier. Something that came off just after I hooked it. Much more weight to it, and I'm now thinking that was probably a perch as well. Did think at the time it was a bream, but that was just about when all the bites stopped as well on the rope. Oh, thanks! Oh, blimey. Well, I just put Dendrobina on. And you get something else. Feels fairly substantial. thought if there's some perch around, stick a worm on. Like proper scrap up. Cool, it's a proper perch. Wow. Oh my god. That's a perch. Well, I was just saying hello to a guy on the other side, and he said, I like your videos, so clearly he watches, so hello to you. And as I said, just put a dendrobina on. Just pulled out that. How's about that for a perch? Absolute unit. What a fish. Beautiful. Absolutely fantastic as the foliage comes crashing into the water around me. What a fish. Look at him. What a unit. See if he'll put his fin up. How's about that? Wow. What a morning. Beautiful. Well guys, no wonder the roach have disappeared. Now you know me, I'm not a great one for numbers, but I had to put a number on that one. He was that big, PB by miles. £2 12 ounces. Yeah, I think if I was a little roach I wouldn't be out there at the moment either. Crazy. I know I keep saying it, but what a morning. What a morning. Well guys, as you can hear, I'm sure, the wind's really picked up, so I'm going to go on the feeder because it's hard to cast this, it's hard to see it when it's out there. So I'm going to switch over to the feeder for a bit. It's gone a bit quiet in the Waggler anyway, to be honest. Not really getting any bites. So I'm going to switch over to the feeder, see if we can do any better on that. Right, so I've got my TFG Compact Allrounder and Okuma XT LBXT 430 by the looks of that. But I'll put all the details of all this stuff down below. The standard just low resistance running setup. I'm going to use a small Guru gripper feeder. Shop water hook link to size 14. I think I'm going to go on bread flake first and see if we can't pick up some nice roach. Perhaps bread flake, and we'll go on perhaps worm as well. Don't think I'm going to go onto maggots on the bottom because I think we'll just get smashed to pieces every cast. we're in. That way, whatever it is, let's pull him back. May well be another perch. It's fighting. Yes. Oh, another lovely one as well. Well, it's about that. I think there's a shoulder bum down there. Fab. Absolutely fantastic. What an unbelievable morning. Well, it's probably just about afternoon now. What time it is. Yeah, 12:15. Been fishing 2 hours. Just over. Horrible conditions, but can't complain about the results. I took that just on a Dendrobina, just tipped off with a red maggot. Like so. Yeah, it looks like the Roach are back. I'm guessing the Perch have gone. Oh, that's a better one. Well, big old shoulder roach out there again now. Possibly the biggest roach of the day. Beautiful. Being around in the sunlight. Fantastic. Well guys, that's me done. It's about 1:30 now. I could stay for a bit longer, probably another half an hour. I could push it to an hour, but the bites have dried up, to be honest. The wind's picked up. Parts of the scenery are crashing to the ground around me. And I'm going to make a sharp exit before part of it hits me around the back of the head, I think. But what a fantastic few hours I've had here today. Absolutely awesome. Really, really enjoyed that. Absolutely wonderful. Wonderful stuff. Couldn't have wished for a better session. So I'm over the moon with that. Fantastic. Now I'm going to try and get out over the weekend at some point. Not sure exactly when. But until then, thank you very much for watching. Tight lines. Enjoy your own angling. Keep safe. And I'll see you again very soon.